It's 9 o'clock. Carl Page Ford, Footscray and Sunshine present Newsbeat. Last night in Melbourne with Stephen Fleay.
Thousands of dollars damage is done as cars pile into each other in a spate of accidents. People lose their lives. Children are injured. And in Flemington, a young soldier received shocking arm injuries when his car ploughs into a tram. We'll go there in a moment.
You get it all with Carl Page Ford.
Carl Page has a car for you like you've never seen before.
People are moving out Fitzroy way, where you hear them say, we got it all with Carl Page Ford. Buy it new
Or buy it used.
Carl Page has a car for you like you've never seen before.
People are moving out Footscray way, where you hear them say,
We got it all with Carl Page Ford. We got it all with Carl Page Ford.
Mount Alexander Road, and a car has collided with a tram. One tram has stopped here, and the passengers have been transferred to another. They're all peering very anxiously out of the tram, looking down to the scene. I'm walking to it now, where an ambulance has stopped, and a couple of tow trucks are here. It appears somebody has been injured. The man is in the car. It's a red Holden, and he's got a shocking arm injury. The ambulance people are attending to him, giving him first aid. He's losing a lot of blood. The man appears to be the driver of the car.
I was travelling in about two car lengths behind him, and he sideswiped the tram and ploughed straight into the back of the car. I pulled up and had a look in the window there, and his arm was broken, just hanging out.
His arm looks a mess.
It's a bit loose in a few places.
The ambulance men are still working on this man. He's lying along the front seat of his car. He's suffering severe shock, but they are working to stop the bleeding. How long has the tram been held up?
5-6 minutes.
Yeah, no serious delays?
No serious delay, no. Delay was only 8 to 10 minutes.
The car's pretty badly damaged. What about the tram itself?
Tram's only slight damage. He's hit side on coming opposite direction.
They've just taken the stretcher out of the ambulance, and they're going to transfer the man who's in extreme pain onto it. The person who's been injured appears to be a serviceman. He's still in uniform. They've put an inflatable splint on his arm. He's still suffering severe pain and suffering shock.
You got him?
Yeah, I got him.
That's it.
Victorian Civil Ambulance, how bad is he?
Well, he's got multiple fractures of the right arm.
Lost a lot of blood?
Some.
This car smashed into the back of yours. What happened?
Oh, I don't know. I was just watching television and...
Oh, your car was parked out the front here?
That's right. And I just heard a crash and I come outside, and that's about as far as I know. I don't think there's that much damage to it, though. Not so much worried about our car, it's about the bloke, you know. He was in pretty bad shape.
What did you do? You notified the ambulance straight away?
Yeah, we rang an ambulance. Got a towel down to wipe the blood up and that.
How was the chap when you arrived? Pretty shocked?
The bloke?
Yeah.
He was in pretty bad shape. He was screaming, and it's pretty awful as far as I felt like being sick.
Reg, our first aid man, you were right in there on the action. You were attending to the person. How badly is he injured?
Well, apart from an arm, and he doesn't seem too bad, Stephen. He's got a severely fractured arm. Apparently, I don't know, I didn't see the accident, of course, but it's possible he could have had his arm on the window ledge and he's copped it when he sideswiped the tram, and it's quite a nasty one, a very complicated sort of fracture. And he was in a great deal of pain and took a lot of restraining, actually. I assisted the ambulance officer to administer Trialine, which did in time quieten him down quite a bit.
Trialine, that I take it as a form of sedative?
Yes, it does quieten him down a bit. It helps to ease the pain a bit for him. But he's got a very nasty arm, that boy.
Town and country towing, how bad's the car?
Probably repair right, I think, not that bad. Well, the front's full of fiberglass here.
In Smithfield Road, Flemington, 2 late model sedans crash head-on. Smithfield Road, Flemington, and just over the traffic bridge, 2 cars look as though they've been involved in collision. Traffic is being held up here. One of the tow truck operators is directing traffic around the scene. The police have arrived. And there's at least 3 tow trucks here, lights flashing, 2 Holdens. One's a Premier, another one's a Kingswood. And they're both smashed in the front.
Both drivers are gone to the hospital. There's a few passengers injured. There's a girl there, she's injured pretty bad. Her head's cut right over.
She's gone to hospital?
Yeah, well, the whole lot, everybody in the car's gone to hospital. But there's one girl there, she's pretty bad. She's got her head cut right over.
I'll tell you what, this, both of these cars are a write-off.
They're both head-on collision, sure. As you can see, they're both hit on the right-hand side and really extensively. Very lucky people. Couple more for Sims Metal.
The windscreen is smashed. Now, has that been caused by somebody going through it or by the bonnet coming up and going into it?
It could have been caused through somebody going through it because the girl in the car was pretty bad, cut around the face.
How are you going to shift this one?
Well, it's an ambulance job. It's one to North Suburban Towing and one to Modern.
Reg, our first aid man, you've been talking with some of the people here on the scene. Understand there were a number of people injured.
Well, from what I can gather, Stephen, there's 5 people who've been taken off by the civil ambulance boys, and rather severe injuries. I haven't been able to ascertain the extent of the injuries, but looking at the vehicles, I'd imagine that they could be quite severe. It's a very bad spot, this. As a matter of fact, we were out here one other evening there, we had a fatal here. They come around this corner, and it's very deceptive approaching the bridge here, and they spin out, and invariably they hit someone head-on coming the other direction.
This other car involved in the accident seems to have come off second best. It's not as badly damaged as the other one, but inside it's not too bad.
I still won't repair it. Straight up to Albert G. Sims is about the best place for it, and come back next year as a Japanese car.
Quick action by a trained nurse and an ambulanceman saves the life of a young motorcyclist in Fitzroy. Ambulance officers are taking a young man and putting him on a stretcher. The person is unconscious, perhaps suffering from internal injuries.
I was parked at those traffic lights over there, and all of a sudden I saw a bike, a sort of piece of metal crewing over there, and I saw a body lying here, and I came over and he didn't have...
Are you a nurse, are you?
No, but my friend who was in the car was, and he didn't have any pulse or anything, and we felt it. And we thought he was decapitated, but he wasn't. He was all right, and he's back to consciousness, and he's probably in a satisfactory condition.
I understand you rendered assistance to the person.
Yes. I just gave him artificial respiration. That was all, and he came through in just a couple of minutes.
Look, we'll just move over here to the safety zone if we could. It's a rather dangerous stretch of road. You saw it happen?
Yes, we just saw the bike go across the road there, and I thought it was a piece of a car, actually. And then my friend saw someone lying on the road, and we jumped out, and then we saw the police, and I didn't do anything until the police came over. And then I just saw that he wasn't breathing, and I gave him artificial respiration, and one of the police gave him some cardiac massage. And then
But maybe if you hadn't have arrived on the scene, that person might have been gone.
Well, I'm a nurse, you know, so it happens.
Do you think he's suffering any internal injuries?
No, I can't tell. Had a faint pulse, though, so he could have shock.
You think he's got a broken leg?
The ambulance said he had broken legs and possible spine injuries.
Reg, our first aid man, did you have a good look at the injured person?
No, Stephen, didn't have a good look, really. Or I did see him quite plainly, but I couldn't see any injuries. And talking with people, it's pretty hard to find out just how he is. But what did you find on the accident side of things? Talking to one young chap over there, and he said there wasn't any other vehicle involved.
Well, there must have been. Look at all the glass here on the road.
Well, I think that's glass from his headlight, which is strewn all over the road. But they were driving up. They got to the scene just as it happened, and they thought he hit the safety zone. They said they saw him go hurtling through the air. There was no crash or anything. But apparently there's no other vehicle around, and I can believe what they say. It's possible.
Looks like a high-powered machine, Reg.
Yes, it's quite a big machine. Doesn't matter how big they are, you still hit just as hard. But it is quite a big one, Stephen.
But in Glen Waverley, a motorcyclist dies when his machine collides with a car in Springvale Road. The person killed was George Kenneth Bartle, aged 24, of Clayton North. His body was taken to Prince Henry's Hospital, where death was certified by a doctor. Then it was transferred to the city mortuary. A pillion passenger, 18-year-old Joy McCourt, is in the Austin Hospital suffering from spinal injuries and is in a serious condition. Relatives of both parties have been notified. It's back to Flemington and another collision between two cars. Racecourse Road in Flemington, and there has been, I'd say, a minor accident here. North Suburban have got the job?
Yeah, got both of them. Got the double. There's one of the owners in there on the phone there now, and the other one's over at the police car.
What's the extent of damage to the Falcon?
Pretty bad. He comes from a car company, so he's not too bad off. He can get it fixed up. It's from Brentmore, Northcote. But he's not worried about that. He just wants to get the other chap checked out, I think.
The other car involved, what sort of car was that? I can't see it.
Latest model Holden down the road down there. It was a HQ, blue HQ.
How badly damaged is that one?
About the same as the Falcon. Would have been about $400 or $500, no worries.
All I heard was a big bang, and I came running down, and then about 5 minutes after, I didn't know anything about it, so I came down and I just saw it just happen.
How much damage to your car?
$500.
Well, you know, what exactly happened?
Quite truthful, I don't know. I wasn't watching it, possibly.
Which way were you heading?
I was coming out of Princess Street and he was coming down Racecourse Road.
Who would you say was in the wrong?
Me. Legally.
I was coming this way.
Which, down Racecourse Road towards the city?
Towards the city, and this fellow coming this way here. We should have given way to the straight, oncoming traffic, right? He never gave way. He came straight through here, and he went straight into my car. That's all. And normally, going straight here, you are allowed to go straight here, right? And he should have stopped from over there. He never stopped, and he came straight through here. And he said to the policeman, apparently that I'm drunk also, right? I said, well, to the constable, well, I will check on me. Fair enough.
They're going to check him out?
Yeah.
What about yourself?
I'm all right. I've had lemon squash and lemonade and soda water.
I take it you don't drink?
Huh? Yes, I'm not allowed, yes. I've had lemon squash and this is my health from Prince Henry, you see? Right, I was bashed by a fellow 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago now.
This is on your wrist. It says medical emergency in case of illness. Notify Prince Henry Hospital. What is the illness you have?
I was bashed. That's all. I was bashed and I had a bit of epilepsy.
Is your car drivable?
By the sound of the engine, I don't think so.
Young children are injured in a 3-car pileup in Abbotsford. The Newsbeat team tries to render assistance, but there's panic. The dramatic story as it happened in a moment.
You get it all with Call Page Ford.
Call Page has a car for you like you've never seen before.
People are moving out Fitzroy way, where you hear them say, we got it all with Call Page Ford. Buy it new
or buy it used.
Call Page has a car for you like you've never seen before.
People are moving out Fitzroy way, where you hear them say,
we got it all with Call Page Ford. We got it all with Call Page Ford.
Being good Samaritans does not always help, as we're about to find out in Abbotsford. Lennox and Victoria Streets in Abbotsford, and 2 cars are involved. There's a VW combi van and a Monaro.
The red car was coming from the corner and a baby's cut.
The woman got thrown down the street, kids followed. Down there, you follow them, the hotel, the Jigger Albany, they're nursing. You find all the information there.
Has the ambulance been yet?
They're on the way.
They're on the way. Where are the injured people?
Inside the lounge.
In the hotel. Where's Reg? There's some injured people in the hotel, Reg. Is he? Yes, we'll just go over and 3 children, I understand. We'll go and see how they are.
And a little baby.
How old?
The little baby's got a big cut on her chin. See here. Here it is. Here it is.
3 is that we've got a first aid person. We've got a first aid man here.
Why don't you pack of vultures, Basil?
No, we're not vultures. We've got a
Good night, mate.
What do you think of yourself?
Do you want the first aid man to come along?
The ambulance coming already.
Do you want the first aid man to come?
Yes, we do, but we don't need you.
Yeah. You buzz off.
Well, look, he's coming. We brought him along with us.
You buzz off.
Well, fair enough. Did I need you to guide him?
Hey, little, this. Look, no, get his first aid bloke in.
If you don't move it, I'll kick it out of your hand.
Look, we're just doing good favour, mate.
I know that. Hey,
okay.
Buzz off with that.
I'm going out there.
Yeah, right, I'll show you the way out. Come on. I'll take him out, mate. Hey, come on, right. Look, hey, settle down. Hey, this way. Come on, this place got a first aid bloke here. No good, guys, nothing.
Give it to me and let me take it out.
Come on.
It's my record I'm taking it.
Right.
How come they don't need us?
Reg, our first aid man, look, we had a lot of trouble in there trying to attend to those people or those children who were injured. Now, how badly were they injured?
Well, I only got a chance to have a brief look at one, Stephen. We had quite a few irate parents.
Would they let you near them?
Well, firstly, no, they wouldn't. Until I told them I was a qualified man, then they agreed to let me have a look at one little kiddie who had rather a nasty gash in the side of the head, which probably would require a couple of stitches. But I no sooner got around to the stage of having a look, and the ambulance arrived, civil ambulance, and they've taken the little girl away. But it was quite a job to even get near them at this stage.
You were in the Monaro? Listen, what happened?
I can't find him, Lee. Oh. There's one bloke he shot through, mate. He shot through.
Yeah, the bloke in the...
One of the blokes in the combi?
No.
No, the one that caused the accident.
Oh, hang on, there's three involved.
Yeah, we were turning left.
You were turning left in the Monaro?
This spun about twice and hit us.
Which vehicle were the family in?
The one in the combi van, mate.
And who was actually at fault? The bloke in the other car who's disappeared?
Yeah, well, that's the car over there. Collingwood Council and the Richmond Council are trying to get the lights here.
It's an extremely busy intersection, isn't it?
Set a narrow street here. Well, the Richmond and the Collingwood Council are trying to get lights there. They've been paying for it. So Leonard Street here, I'll say, look, something's got to be done.
It wouldn't make any difference if there's stop signs here or not. They'd still do the same.
There's been plenty of accidents here.
Yeah.
There's always accidents here.
But I've seen Freddie Johnson, the councillor of Richmond. He's making some changes made, see. That light, got to be lights there.
Somebody else said it wouldn't make any difference. Why?
No, it wouldn't, because you get idiots coming up and down the street. You can see it down here on Lennox Street and Elizabeth Street. It's the same thing. They just speed through. Some people don't even understand these stop signs. They just go straight through, you know.
But, you understand?
You can stand
street
there,
here.
You can stand there all day, and I guarantee you the people you see running through there, it wouldn't be funny, you know.
Leave those people alone. What's wrong, madam? Well, you're beckoning me over. What do you want? No, will you leave the microphone alone? Will you leave the microphone alone, please?
Well, why don't they put traffic lights on this corner?
Listen, you were in this combi van, is that right?
No, I wasn't.
You weren't? You had nothing to do with it?
No.
Okay.
I'm just a geek.
Look, I haven't got time to be involved in an argument, I'm afraid.
Well,
Richmond Towing on the scene, 3 vehicles involved, a combi, a Holden Monaro and a Toyota, I understand. What's the total extent of the damage?
Well, the only one worth touching is the Monaro, and that's drivable. The others are write-offs.
How much damage to the Monaro?
About $300, the side of it.
Just the side?
Yeah.
It's drivable?
Worse luck.
What's happened to this combi? It looks in a mess. The whole side's smashed in. The engine perhaps could be about the only bit that's still okay.
And blew the oil running out of it.
Good for spare parts?
Nah, it's had it.
You're the driver of the Monaro. I understand you were stationary here and everything went wrong.
On the left-hand turn, yeah. And he had a 2-out prang and hit us, and the little girl was down between the 2 cars. So, that's all there is to it.
How many people were in this combi?
I don't know, mate. No, don't know. I never seen him. He might jumped out and pulled the girl out between the 2 cars, and that's all that happened.
Who was this? Who?
George.
You pulled the child out?
What? Oh, it was jammed between the 2 cars, and I tried to get her out through the window there, and I couldn't get through, so I got out through the driver's side and dragged her out through the driver's side. She was bleeding a bit. That was it, just took her out.
And no sign of the driver of the Toyota?
Well, they said he got in a taxi and took off. That's it.
He'd be RS if I get hold of him, Sam.
Fred Murphy, our on-scene coordinator. Fred, you've been speaking with a few witnesses to the accident. Now, what would you say happened? It looks like a mess to me.
Oh, yes, it's been a bit of a mix-up.
There's one guy escaped from one of these cars, I believe, but I see the police are looking at registration and licence numbers, so I suppose they'll be looking for him very shortly.
There's trouble of a different kind, and it happens at the Kashmir restaurant in the city.
I'm just a waitress.
What happened?
Oh, well, I was just going in and out, and all I could hear was these 5 customers who had in one corner, and they just, deliberately kept swearing all the time. Any conversation was just bad language, and it was just really bad language, And even the customers were looking at them, and they were all, wondering what's going on, just for no reason. And one of the waiters went to get the menu to give it to another table, and he told her to stick the menu up, so forth. And then our boss came along, and he said, "Look, please don't swear. This is a restaurant where it's not good for the public, and it's not a place to swear, so please don't swear." And they said, "Oh, we're not swearing, we know what we're saying." And in the meantime, police came, so we called the police, and we told them what happened. They said, "Oh, we're not swearing, we know what we're talking about." As soon as the police walked out the door, they started swearing again, and he said, "Look, I want to fight." He said, "Why don't you come and fight me? Come on, I want to fight with you." And Joe said, "Look, go, we don't want to fight, we just want peace and quiet in the restaurant, it's not good for the customer." Then he started swearing, he said, "No, I want to fight." So there were punches involved. And then I don't know what happened, they went outside. And
You said 5 people, were they all men, or were they men and women?
They were all against Joe?
Yeah, there was 3 guys and a woman, yeah.
No, they started punching Joe, and then he started to...
And the bad thing about it is, look, the thing is that...
Who's Joe?
Joe's not... This is what the bad thing is. He's our boss, and he was protecting the customers. He was trying to keep it peace and quiet. And now there's people outside, they saw the punching going, and they don't know what went on inside. And all the customers, they know that he was swearing. And what happened? Joe tried it 3 times, he walked away and said, "Don't swear, please don't swear." And they just kept at it.
I just saw this bloke sitting in the corner there swearing at the manager or whoever he is. In shocking language, and I reckon what the manager done was very right.
Would you say that the people that were in here, they were drunk?
They definitely looked that way, for sure.
I reckon they were put on court too, because even before they started having their dinner, they were already...
They were causing a disturbance, I'd say, definitely, that they looked for trouble.
OK, thanks very much anyway. Enjoy your tea. Up in Glenroy, it's on when a car smashes into a fence. Corner of North and Richmond Street, looks as though a car has smashed into the wall of a house. This is your house?
Yes.
Or was part of your house?
Oh, well, there's only a bit of damage to the fence. Nobody hurt, so that's the main thing.
Where's the driver?
He's gone with the police.
I was walking down there and just saw this car miss this other car, and it just went into the fence. And it was just parked sideways in the fence.
What about the other car that this car just missed?
Oh, he nicked off after the car went in the fence.
This is your car here in the carport. It was...
Well, up until Thursday, it's been parked just there.
If it had have been parked there, then it would have been a write-off. It would have been a lot worse.
Yes, definitely.
The whole fence, I'd say about, 20 feet of the fence is gone?
Yes. A shed. Oh no, I think the barbecue's...
The barbecue's still there?
Still there, but this other fence here, and a lot of, ladders and things that were in the shed there, they've gone.
How much damage to the car, do you think?
About $600.
Both front tyres flat?
One front tyre, whole back, just at the front.
What model is it?
HR Premier.
It's been done up a bit?
No, for the body, that's about all.
It's got air inlet valves in the front. What about the engine? Has that been souped up? Looks as though you've put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, we sort of look after our cars, the pair of us, and it's a shame to see something happen like this.
Would you both own this one?
No.
You work on each other's cars?
Yeah.
Bit upsetting to see all that work gone down the drain.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you're going to fix it yourselves?
Yeah, well, I don't know. We've got to see the other car involved sort of thing in the morning.
Do you want a hand?
Oh, I should be pretty right, thank you. Yeah, just change the wheel and be right.
How was your mate? Was he okay?
Yeah, he was okay, not a scratch.
He had a seatbelt on?
Yeah, he was wearing a seatbelt. But he's lucky, really, because he's only missed the pole.
The problem was the bloke that what caused all the trouble with another rat bag that comes screaming along the road later while we were here, and he nearly ran up the backside of another one. And he got out and wanted a little bit of fisticuffs and altercations, and he got sorted out. And
so what did you do when the show started here between these other two drivers?
Oh, these folks? No, we went inside and gave them a cup of coffee, and their wife One of them bloke had a wife and little kiddies, and we went in and had a cup of coffee, and they wrote out their pieces of paper and
all fixed up.
All fixed up. And then
While at this accident, there's another death on the roads. Here's a police report. On the corner of Pier and Gibson Streets in Drumana, Peter Besant, aged 30, died when his car came into collision with another vehicle. The deceased's body was taken to Rosebud Hospital. Death was certified by a doctor. Bruce Jones Collins, the driver of the other car, is in Frankston Hospital suffering from shock and concussion. And then there's a spectacular accident in the city. Queen and Lonsdale Street, and this looks bad. There's a Falcon panel van. It's on its roof, completely upside down. And 2 tow trucks are here. A crowd of people are standing round. You blokes were in the Falcon, were you?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, what happened?
We're just coming down the street here, and I thought it was a yellow light, and I went to go through it, and apparently the other blokes thought the same thing, and bang, we've hit the centre.
They tell me that he was going pretty fast.
You can say that again. But bloody, the Jag,
yeah,
he's hurtling, like bloody oath. But I can't say. That's just one other opinion against another. I know.
Who was driving?
I was driving. Yeah.
You just slammed the anchors on, and she tipped over.
Well, I've caught him on his backside, and he's just dragged me over. That's it.
How many times did you roll?
Only the once. That's enough.
Yeah. You're holding your leg. Are you okay?
Don't know yet. We'll have to wait and find out.
Sure, you must have. You both had seatbelts on.
Yeah.
You would have been a write-off otherwise.
I think so.
You been out tonight, or?
Pardon me?
Have you been out tonight?
Yeah, we're just going home. Been able to see the girlfriend. He took me over to see my girlfriend. We're going home.
Gee, it's a wonder that the windscreen's still intact on that.
Yeah, we were lucky. We weren't going very fast. We were only doing about 30.
The chap in the ambulance, he's out of the Jag?
No, he's with us.
He was?
Just shocked.
Just the 3 of you?
Yeah.
Allied towing?
Yes, mate. Oh, geez, I've had it sweep this road. Yeah.
You're a bit out of breath. Look, can we just move over here for a few moments?
Yeah, sure.
The Falcon, surprisingly enough, the windscreen's intact. Will that one go again?
I think it is. It all depends how bad the roof is, sort of thing, you know. And it's, what model have been? 1970 model, 71 model? I think it will.
What about the Jag? That doesn't look too bad.
No, it's only the back quarter panel's gone on that.
Well, every second Saturday night there's a smash here because of these bloody lights.
In other words, the lights should be put onto their normal cycle.
That's right. The cars coming up here do not slow down. The ones coming down do not slow.
And that's the night in our city. This morning's headlines in a moment.
You get it all with Carl Page Ford.
Carl Page has a car for you like you've never seen before.
People are moving out Fitzroy way, where you hear them say, we got it all with Carl Page Ford. Buy it new
or buy it used.
Carl Page has a car for you like you've never seen before.
People are moving out Fitzroy way, where you hear them say,
we got it all with Carl Page Ford. We got it all with Carl Page Ford.
And now this morning's headlines. Tony Mundine has failed in his challenge for the world middleweight boxing title. Argentinian champion Carlos Monzon stopped the Australian midway through the 7th round of their bout at the Luna Park Stadium in Buenos Aires. Although Mundine looked to be holding his own early in the fight, Monzon showed why he hadn't been beaten in 10 years when he opened up in the 6th round. The earthquake which rocked the Peruvian capital of Lima, the strongest earthquake in Peru for 30 years, has killed at least 68 people. There are still 2,000 people reported to be missing and 11,000 people who have been made homeless. The earthquake destroyed nearly 3,000 houses and injured at least 2,264 people. And finally, bomb blasts have wrecked 2 public houses 30 miles south of London, killing a number of people. Unconfirmed reports say that 6 people have been killed and 30 injured in the first explosion at the Horse and Groom, a bar frequented by British soldiers from a nearby military camp. And that's the news to this moment. This has been Stephen Fleay for 3UZ Newsbeat.
Be listening at 9 o'clock next Sunday when Carl Page Ford, Footscray and Sunshine present 3UZ Newsbeat.